There are certain periods when specific cultures impact global power and social advancements more than others. Examples of this can easily be seen in the Egyptian Empire and their impact on agriculture, and the Greek and Roman empires and their impact on philosophy and politics. As empires rise and fall, there are global shifts in power and cultural developments. One of these global changes occurred when the Roman Empire fell and the global power shifted to the Islamic Empire. Let's take a look at the Islamic Empire and how its rise and fall is a result of global shifts in power, but its impact on society, culture, advancements, and world politics is still relevant in today's society. Around 600 CE, the Islamic Empire began to expand its influence. As the Roman Empire fell, Arab tribes in formerly occupied territories began to unite under common ideals based on religion, culture, and shared experiences. First under the Umayyads and then the Abbasids. Muhammad, who is recognized as the last prophet and the founder of Islam, formed the Muslim religion and served as the first recognized leader of the unified Islamic Empire. The Islamic Empire had incredible influence on Western culture through established trade routes such as the Silk Road. This period is the beginning of the Islamic Empire's golden age, when wealth and trade flourished across Asia, and Baghdad was known as the new capital of the Islamic world and became a center for global learning. Throughout the next few centuries, the Islamic Empire had a strong effect on the arts, sciences, and philosophy. Languages were shared across cultures and philosophy writings became important. Muslim scholars advanced algebra and trigonometry. The Islamic cultural influence was shared with Western civilizations, and its impact can still be seen in today's culture through examples like Spanish architecture, dance, and music. The Islamic Empire also had a lot of religious freedoms in their territories, such as Jewish and Christian religious practices. These groups were known as people of scripture, which means protected people. The encouragement of religious freedom is interesting because it becomes one of the primary internal and external conflicts would help cause the decline of the Islamic Empire. Such as the spread of Christianity and the Crusades, the biggest internal differences in Islamic culture are specifically the Sunni and Shiite tensions, which began over a conflict about who should be the next caliphate or leader after Muhammad's death. The geography of the Islamic Empire was impacted by many of these conflicts. There are geographic divisions based on internal conflicts between Muslims. The Crusades established a physical and geographic presence. The Mongols began expanding their power into the Islamic territories. As the Mongolian Empire expands, external conflicts began to impact the Islamic Empire, starting in the Battle of Baghdad. In one of the bloodiest battles in world history, the Mongols burned Baghdad to the ground in 1258 and conquered much of the Middle East during the 1200s. This defeat marks the end of the Golden Age and the beginning of the decline of the Islamic Empire. Remaining power divided amongst the Ottomans, including the Mongols. Ottomans controlled much of what was the Islamic Empire, and deep religious and political divisions reigned throughout the Muslim community and the empire. These divisions would only become more hostile over time and continue to impact the global community throughout current history. As a result, ideas and achievements of the Abbasid lived on to continue impacting cultures and societies, particularly the arts and mathematics, but Islamic power declined overall. As the Ottoman Empire continued to deal with internal conflicts, the Western world continued its expansion. British imperialism consumed the Middle East, and the decline of the Ottoman Empire led to more British control through funding, foreign relations, and expansion. Missionaries and explorers such as David Livingstone helped Europeans establish a foothold in the Middle East that would have lasting consequences on international politics that still impact the world today. By the time World War I arrived, the Ottoman was dependent on alliances and promises of independence. In an attempt to reassert their independence and global influence, the Ottomans allied with Germany during World War I. During the war, the Allies promised Arab independence. Instead, they take over, which sets in motion many of the problems that have plagued the Middle East ever since. Although the Islamic Empire's influence on society and culture will never recede, its political influence and position as a global power has been diminished, and the conflicts that led to its fall continue to be a source of tension in the region today.